I made really promise never to tell a soul. I'm not gonna ask you the same thing. But Mom will never understand. Don't worry about me. This is just temporary. It's just a dark time.
Everybody wants to see God, but nobody wants to die today. His big dark eyes, the only reflection worth wandering into. Together our tears made a potion, which cast a spell in tongues only we understood. They whispered, could I have made a difference?
If love were hunger, would you starve yourself? It started out as a fantasy. Every time people joke about it, I turn to ice. I never know what to say. You're gonna be alright. God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. But the older you become, the quicker you realize that those are all psychotic cliches. Masochistic lies. I'm not gonna lie to you. This isn't a fairy tale. This is a confession. There's two kinds of people in this world. There's you, and there's me. I know who you are. I know how you work, your operation. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be born a woman. We have no choices. We can only submit. Have you ever exchanged an illusion for an omen? I mean, seriously ask yourself, what the hell am I doing here? We resist initially until one day we give in. We admit we don't belong here. So, I'm spinning my thread, waiting for the spider to consume me. The itsy bitsy spider. She has a choice. We're only a fly, buzzing around until fate kamikazes us into this tangled web we call the world. Suffocating in this silk-like coffin, I can no longer fight to free myself before the sun comes out and dries out all the rain. I've come to worship this tomb of thread. It's the only bed I'm aware I'm lying in. At night, I ask death for favors. He calls them mercy. He says it tastes better going down. How did all this happen? Why did the drain become my deity, my God? I kneel before it, offering everything inside of me as a vile and repulsive sacrifice. I expel everything from my guts that once made me human. And the drain is never fulfilled. We have that in common. On my knees, I feel beautiful. When everything is purged from my stomach, wings spread out of my spine. They fly me to the sun. At night, I dream of throwing up. But I don't have to dream anymore. Melissa. I'm sorry. A piece of me, no smaller than a splinter, needs to get caught, needs to be fixed. A part of me wants to be exposed for the monster, the beast that I've always been. But not by you. Not by you. I should have hid better. You know, if I was stronger, you wouldn't have heard me cry. If I was quieter, you wouldn't have heard me choke. And if I was selfless, I wouldn't have made you promise. Never share your secrets or sadness with the people you love. Hide. Escape to a place where you can die comfortably on your own terms. I know if I still had a soul, it'd be corroded, but I flushed that down the toilet years ago. You know, the price, no, the cosmic joke of being human is wanting what you can't have. We wanted answers, so we created God. We desired an afterlife, so we concocted heaven. We needed to be perfect, so we made machines. We needed to measure memory, so we made time. We destroy our bodies in effort to reach the unattainable because the idea of impossibility is intoxicating. We strive for perfection because self-acceptance is tapping out. Remember, don't forget, perfection is an unrealistic and absurd concept created by our own insecurities. I mean, I wish this could end and be forgotten. Dust in the wind. A memory. Not a memory, but a stain. I mean, I could live with that. Or maybe I'm a psychotic or pathological liar. But how could you know? Don't look at me like that. This isn't a cry for help. I mean, there's nothing to justify. This is simply a declaration. So go to sleep, wake up. It doesn't get any better. There's no God. We have no choices. Only routines. And the spider will eat you when she's ready.
So, how's school?
I have perfect attendance.
Don't be that way.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Well, to start off, how are your grades?
We should get ice cream after dinner.
Melissa.
The same.
Mediocre then.
Uh-huh.
What flavor's good?
How remarkably unattractive.
I guess.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get a flavor I've never tried before. I'm thinking strawberry.
You know, you should take a step back and think about what you've done to me.
Say again? What did you say?
You should apologize to her.
You're staring.
I'm sorry?
Did your mother ever tell you there was monsters under your bed?
My mother?
My mother did. She said like they were in the closet. I never really understood how her scare tactics were supposed to motivate me to go to sleep. My sister, she had this poster of a Cheshire cat. It was so creepy. You know, Alice in Wonderland? I was more of Beauty and the Beast. We never had the same taste, being twins and all. Anyways, depending on how the light shine through the window. Shoot. It would make little shadows and it would just scare me. I mean, it's already stupid smile was just like already shocking. But, I convinced myself there's something in the room. Smiling at me, taunting me. I mean, not like a ghost or a demon, but you know, There's something paranormal. And anyway, I can feel it. It's like a sinister energy in my chest. And my sister was in the room.
Why are you telling me this?
It was all in my head. It wasn't real. I wasn't scared of the dark anymore. And I asked myself, why would my mom try to scare me? You know? Why would she tell me this, you know? She's just trying to scare me. There's no monsters. Don't make believe. And you know what? I figured it out. Monsters are real. I can see them. I can feel them everywhere. I can hear them staring right back at me, watching me. And I'm there. Thank you.
Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
This? Why are you...
I don't like when people look at me that way.
Why? Not people.
I don't feel so good. The pitiful meaning of a tip. A buck.
I thought you didn't work here for the money.
Lame tip's a lame tip, Becca.
You're not so secret on my heart's patiently waiting.
I'll take it.
He'll only order from you.
Hello, Mr. James. What can I get you today? One pie, one coffee, no cream to sugars.
Yeah, Jesus, I'm a bona fide stereotypical regular.
Don't be so hard on yourself. I know everyone's usual.
Well, here I thought I was someone special.
I'll be right back, okay?
Take your time, take your time. Hurry back.
The usual.
That guy's kind of creepy. I'm kind of creepy too.
Becca.
What's your secret? What does a girl gotta do to catch a predator who tips like a fiend around here?
No ice cream on top? I'm lactose intolerant. Go make it. Just trying to throw a curveball. Hey,
My sister was lactose intolerant. It didn't stop her from eating ice cream.
I didn't know you had a sister.
Her name was Miandra.
Was? So that...
Well, Mr. James, if you
Wait.
need anything else, I'll be right over there because it looks like you're all set.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You said was.
Hey, do you have the time?
No, I don't.
I was seeing you working there, and I just thought maybe I should talk to you. And I don't have much experience doing this, but I was thinking.
Look, I don't know how to tell you this without sounding callous, so
Callous.
I'm just gonna say it anyway.
What does that mean?
Insensitive?
Say what without sounding insensitive?
I really don't have time for this. You couldn't have come at a worse time, really. Excuse me.
Hey, how long have you been a waitress?
Dude. It's kind of obvious when men walk in there just to stare at you. You have to admit it's not very becoming.
What does that mean?
Becoming means mature. It's not very mature.
What's not very mature?
It's not particularly becoming to stalk a girl when she's really just trying to pass the time. You do know what stalking is, don't you?
Right, to stalk.
Okay. Look, it has nothing to do with the way you look.
That's a relief.
I don't like smokers. I don't like litter bugs either.
Wait. Stay right there. I'm going to skip the entire "you scared me half to death, I was worried sick" routine. I can't even go there at the moment. Do you know what I've been doing these past 3 hours? How I've spent my time? What I've been contemplating? As a lark, an adolescent act of defiance, you impulsively decide to be spontaneous? No? What did Cody have to eat?
You can ask him yourself.
What did you feed your brother, Melissa?
Pizza, ice cream, funnel cake. And he hasn't had cotton candy before, so
A spectacular mistake. That's funny. Adorable. Why do you insist on feeding your brother poison? If you are compulsively compelled to consume garbage, Melissa, then by all means, go right ahead. My son, however, will not. Do you understand?
yes.
Am I making myself clear? Do you have a single tiny shred of respect for your mother?
Mom, please.
If you did, you'd have thought twice before doing this to me. Go. I think if hell did exist, it would be very quiet. Absent from screams, empty of everything. It would be silent and dark. The most dreadful sense of them all is silence. Your grandma would trap your uncles in the trunk of her car. You didn't know that. How could you? Sometimes all three of them at once. I'd hear them kick, fight for air, scream. They'd swear. Of course, the oldest, that's Bill, he's 3 years older than me, so he was 15. Your Uncle Joey, the youngest, he was 6 at the time. He was a rascal. And then your Uncle Barris, 8 years old, I think. All three of them in her trunk. Each and every time she'd put them in there, I thought they'd eventually break out. They certainly tried. They would swear, threaten Grandma, and kick. Until I finally heard nothing. It made me sick to my stomach. Every time they would fight till they had nothing left, till they broke. That's what she would let them go. But the silence was never a relief. Silence means you've been forgotten. I never forgot about you. And I'll never forget your sister. Please remember that.
So there was this purse at Gucci,
Smelly.
and I really want.
Oh my god, just keep walking. No, it's smelly.
That hardly fits.
You hardly know.
Do you want to go get some coffee? Your friend could come along too, although it's not very becoming.
I've been serving coffee all day.
Okay, fine. You can come then. What do you say, Mel?
It's Melissa. You have an oral fixation, and no, thank you.
Do I annoy you, Melissa?
Worse, you abuse me.
That is worse.
Wait, how do you know this guy?
She doesn't. She doesn't even know my name.
Where's your car, dude?
I don't know, I thought I parked a lot closer.
Do you need a ride?
Look,
Look, let me just take you out for a movie. Or we could get something to eat, or just go look at books or something.
Look at books.
Check out books, whatever. What do you say?
At the library.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Whatever Mel wants.
Aww.
When are you off?
Ask for a number.
Becca.
Becca, could you give us a second, please?
I'll see you Wednesday.
Look, I know I'm being very, just...
Forward.
Aw, you're already finishing each other's sentences.
Yes, I'm being very forward. But, I don't know, it's just, you're so pretty. And I like the sound of your voice. And I know first impressions make a huge deal. I just feel so stupid right about now.
What's your name?
Phil.
Okay, I'm not interested, Bill.
Word?
Yes, word. Her cookies were the best. They were like blessings. Chocolate blessings. I mean, I didn't feel worthy of having them.
Did you ever have the ones that she made out of cake batter?
No.
Imagine you were eating with God in heaven. Those are the cookies he would eat. Each bite was a prayer, a guilty prayer. Every cookie was karma. It was too good to be true. I'm still waiting for something terrible to happen.
I don't think that's the way karma works, Randy.
Haven't we
Sorry.
had something terrible happen?
I wasn't thinking.
It's okay, Randy. It's fine.
Let's change the subject, shall we?
Okay. Well, do you have any Mia stories?
Many. When she was a baby, when you two were growing up. Yes, many unforgettable memories.
But would you say you knew her?
What are you implying?
Nothing. I mean, I just want to hear from you. I want to hear Mia's story.
You want to hear the story of the three little pigs? What are you trying to say, Melissa?
I suspect you didn't know Mia at all. In fact, you don't have it within you to admit you've been a terrible mother. Do you have any idea what Mia thought about you? You broke her heart every day. And you have nothing to say about that? Don't you even care? I'm surprised Cody's a saint. You need to take a step back and ask yourself where you've been the last 18 years.
You want to hear the story of the three little pigs? What are you trying to say, Melissa?
Would you say you favored her?
That's absurd. Is that what this is about?
No, this isn't about anything. You know what, let's just forget it.
Bill, should I start the dishes?
Shh. Melly, listen. You sincerely believe I favored your sister over you? Grow up, dear. You developed a persecution complex early on as a child. Something Miandra never acquired. You're going to have to let this animosity you had with your sister go. Do you understand? I don't want you to think I favored your sister over you. Or Cody, for that matter. You should know. I would rather it be you.
What?
Mia was perfectly healthy. She was brilliant. You're flawed. I've heard you, Melissa. I've cleaned after you. You're sick. If one of my daughters had to go, if fate had to steal one from me, why couldn't it be the one who's digging her own grave? Doesn't that make any sense? I never favored my children over the other. You were all born uncorrupted, just pristine. You damaged yourself, honey, beyond repair. It's unfair. It's fickle, wretched. Life.
May I say something?
No, you may not.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you look at me and long for her. God, Mom. Why'd you have to do this in front of Cody?
Why did you have to do this in front of us? You plagiarize. You fake. You lie. Why? You have everything. Even the audacity to throw your sister's death in my face? You're disgusting. I work with the mentally ill every day. I have sickness all around me. To come home and feed a thankless person like you. People are dying of hunger as we speak. You disgrace every starving child on the face of this earth by puking your expensive meals down the toilet. You ungrateful swine. What did I do? Spoil you? Milk spoils on its own. You've never gone hungry. You've never been so cold you had to start a fire. I've never seen you so much as even sweat, for goodness sake. I've done nothing to deserve this.
Not everything is about you.
Who's the one that made their sister's death an excuse? Just another reason to throw food down the toilet. Well, here, Melissa, if that's what you want, here.
No,
Eat it.
Mom!
Eat it.
Randy! Stop!
Who's that?
Should I get it?
Cody, honey, go to bed and wash up, okay? You stay right where you are.
Hi, you must be Melly's dad.
I'm her stepdad.
Nice to meet you, sir. I was in the neighborhood. I was wondering, is Melly around?
Now's not really a good time.
Oh.
Who do we have here?
Hi, ma'am. I'm Philip Holloway. You must be Melly's mother?
I must be.
I don't mean to intrude. Is this a bad time?
If you don't mind me asking, how do you know my daughter?
We actually just met recently.
Do you smell gasoline?
There's no way you go to my daughter's school.
Phil?
No, I don't.
We're having dinner, and now is a bit of an inconvenience, to say the least.
I'm sorry for the bad timing. Is there a better time when I can drop by?
Randy, honey, can you go clear the table and start the dishes? Philip, on behalf of my daughter, I think it's best you don't come by here again.
Oh,
Nothing to do with how you look or smell. You seem well-mannered enough.
that's a relief.
I'm not entirely keen on her talking to someone like you. Nothing personal.
Okay.
Thank you for understanding. Good night.
Hey. Give me your hand.
Your hands are shaking.
We don't need to whisper.
Could you close the door, please?
Where are you going?
I was thinking of sleeping on the couch.
Hold me.
What do I do with my arm?
What do you mean? I'm trying to see the signs.
That's what she said.
You're prettiest when you're happy.
I could find a reason to be sad if you'd like.
No, it's contagious. Stay happy, please.
I'll try my best.
What's his name? What's
Excuse me?
his name? Your boyfriend. You got an arrow sticking out your back.
His name is Phil, and he's wonderful.
Does he treat you well?
He's amazing. He treats me better than my own mother.
What do you mean?
Do you have everything?
For now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Hey. Do your thing.
Have you seen this movie?
No, have you? Mm-hmm. What's it about?
Well, that guy right there, he finds out, or he's like getting suspicious that that he's getting watched and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you at least remotely interested in the film?
No, not even a little bit. You really like this movie, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, you would too if you watched the end.
Yes, I'm sure. You can watch it later. Right? Hmm?
But I want to finish the movie.
Can I ask you something personal? Could you tell me about your sister?
You would have liked her.
Think so?
Yeah. One summer, my mom, she took her with her to this business trip. And only one of us could go, and she decided to go. And I mean, we had never ever been apart. It was just really weird. And I missed her so much.
Yeah?
That summer was just the worst. I mean, everything I do, I'd wonder what she'd do, what she'd pick, what she'd wear, what she'd say. I mean, I almost... I think I almost became her. And then she came back. She wasn't my Mia anymore. She had completely changed. And she wasn't pretending or anything. I mean, this was not the Mia I remembered. After that, everything just went downhill.
You must miss her a lot.
I see her in the mirror every day. I mean, I talk like her. I sound like her. Of course I miss her.
I remember this one time. I think I have really bad memory, but there's one thing I remember that my mom said. She said, grief is like a child. You need to raise it, nurture it until it could, go on its own. And, I mean, that just always stuck to me. You really think she would have liked me?
Duh.
You know, I think your mom would like me. She just gave me a chance.
This isn't the 50s. I don't think you need my mom's approval.
I don't need it. And to be honest, I would never want anyone's approval, but it's inevitable, so might as well get it out of the way, you know? Hi.
You have to kiss me 1,000 times so I can think about it. How's that?
Think I could do that.
One. Mom?
I'm working on a huge case and it's been eating away at me.
Remember Phil?
Not now, Melissa. Wait. Okay, what were you saying or what?
Remember Philip Holloway?
I can't say I do.
He came over to the house a couple of months ago. You said it was best if he didn't speak to me.
Looked like he served cheap beer in hell. I may remember why.
He really wants to meet you.
He wants to meet me?
Yeah.
What are you trying to pull?
He's old-fashioned, believe it or not.
Well, if my memory serves, him and I already met. I don't recall anything spectacular about him.
Fine. Forget it.
Forgotten.
You do know he's my first boyfriend. Like, ever, right?
Is that a fact?
It's a fact.
Well, that's interesting.
Just thought you'd care.
Well, does he need my approval?
No.
Do you?
No.
Well, what do you want me to do, Melissa?
Would you be opposed for him coming over to dinner one day?
That's asking a lot.
Dinner, Mom.
Well, let me ask you. Does he know about your epidemic? Suppose you don't want him to hear it from me.
He supposed correctly.
Dinner. I have to think about this. Knock, knock.
Hey, just being a girl.
You know, you have the potential to be very pretty, Melissa. But how can you reap the benefits of beauty when you spend half your time on your knees above a toilet? Try this.
That was Mia's.
Wear it.
I don't want to.
Take your clothes off. Hold your breath. Make a wish. And count to 3. Do you love your imperfections? Beauty fades to black. But once you accept who you are, your smile comes back. Your pain is self-inflicted. You have no one to blame but yourself. Wear it. Trust me, he'll love it.
It's a great dinner belt. Thank you so much. I haven't had a homemade meal in years.
Thank you, Philip.
Melly says you live with your father.
Actually, he lives with me. His check comes in, but I do all the dirty work. He's actually not allowed to work.
What happened?
Well, my mother died from cervical cancer a few years back, and needless to say, he didn't take it too well. So he became an insomniac and eventually got into an accident at work. So now his memory and physical capabilities just kind of diminished.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I've got his back. He remembers everything for the most part, except when it comes to my mother. I don't understand how.
Well, it could be a psychological trauma, not necessarily a physical ailment. That is to say, his brain physically is capable of remembering, but his subconscious bears painful memories for protection.
Maybe. Well, guys, thank you for having me over. I really appreciate it. I feel like I should have brought a pie or something like that, you know, like in the movies.
It's good to have you, Philip. You know you're Melissa's first boyfriend.
She may have mentioned it.
Her sister brought a couple of guys over once or twice. It didn't take.
I think you're cool, Phil.
Right back at you.
Did she tell you she had a twin sister? Miandra. We miss her.
I wish I would have met her.
Well, I think we're gonna take off, Mom.
You should stay. I like talking.
He doesn't mind having a conversation, do you, Philip?
No, there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned getting to know you conversation.
There you have it. Shall we relish the time we have?
We should.
Mia used to sit right where you are. I often find myself coming home thinking she'll be there.
Somebody once told me that grief is like carrying a baby. You nurture it and raise it. And your sadness until it's finally ready to walk on its own.
That's the dumbest metaphor I've ever heard. What do you do for a living, Philip?
I'd rather not answer that, Bill.
Do you drink wine?
The occasion never rose.
Well, Randy, what do you say we make this a special occasion?
How many glasses?
What's the matter? One glass never hurt anybody. So, what do you do for a living?
What do you do?
I asked first.
I work with animals.
Did you go to college for that? It's the 21st century. You don't need an education to make money. Nevertheless, it's always wise to educate oneself. I'm going to break one of the rules just between the 5 of us. I have a patient by the name of David Rourke, a paranoid schizophrenic. Cody, dear, a schizophrenic is someone who suffers from multiple personalities and is oftentimes very volatile. They're dangerous to society and most frighteningly to themselves. Most of us can hardly handle ourselves, let alone another voice in our heads informing us otherwise. This man has 14 doppelgangers occupying his mind that we know of. He looks in the mirror and sees a stranger. Figments of his fragmented subconscious. Anyways, Mr. Rourke was horribly disfigured at an early age. Initially, we believed he was set on fire at the age of 14 by his mother, if you can believe that. Under hypnosis, which doesn't always work, we discovered it was one of his personas who lit the match. It was self-inflicted. Persona A was trying to murder Persona B, and in doing so, yada, yada, yada. This is incredible for $300. You sure you don't want any? At any rate, I deal with psychotic tricksters and people who can't tell their reality from actuality on a daily basis. I'm expected to treat these people, or patients rather. That's my job. How else would I develop the tools necessary to perform my duties if it wasn't for the decade of school and training? In my case, there was no other way. Take Randy, for example. His father owned a car dealership, and now it's his. He didn't have to go to school for something he was born into. Melissa wants to be a writer. Well, that line's a little blurry. I don't know how writers become writers, but if she wants to make any money, and trust me, she can't live without it, she's going to have to further her education. So, Philip, what do you do for a living? What is your trade? Your vocation? How do you support yourself and your disabled father? I'm sure your mother's life insurance only got so far.
Do you have anything stronger?
Randy, dear?
There may be some scotch.
That'll do. Again. Again.
I euthanize animals. And 5 years from now, before you ask it, I'll be doing the exact same thing. I tried the whole college thing. Mother got ill, and I lost interest. And aside from construction, which is a seasonal thing, what I do is the only thing a suit will hire me to do. And I know what you're thinking, the tattoos, the piercings. It was all a choice, wasn't it? I wasn't born like this, I became this. But somebody needs to do what I do. I mean, why can't people just adopt them all? I guess people punish what they can't take care of.
Was that what you wanted to be when you grew up? Your dream? To put animals out of their misery?
My dream was to find someone like your daughter.
Why? She's ugly.
Mom, please don't say that word.
You don't know my daughter. You don't know anything about her.
I may be the only one who does.
You know nothing. You are nothing.
I have to go. I'm sorry, Phil.
Let me guess. Brody, dear, go to bed. Melly has a dark secret. Her fingertips destroy everything she touches. Don't let her touch you, Phil. Check for yourself. Open it.
What for?
You want to see who Melly really is? Now's your chance.
You're psychotic.
I'm her mother. You're a boy trapped in the body of a man. In a matter of time, she will forsake you and forever be ashamed of you. Such a thing between people like you is never meant to last. I never want to see you in my house or the vicinity again. If I do, I will bury you in the ground.
I have a shovel in my car.
Get out of my face.
Sex is comparable to murder. Rough sex. The kind you gave to me. Murder's quite like it. Not in gratuity or in violence, but in attitude. It's all the same rush. Passion. Possession. Confidence. Violence. It is harmony. Except we're both still alive. Did I frighten you?
No. I've just never seen this side of you.
Only you can exercise this side of me.
Let me tell you about the first hole I dug.
wasn't deep enough. Death is a guarantee. What isn't is how many loved ones will go before you. I slept with my mother every night for the last month. She'd be here and I'd crawl into bed with her. She was warm at first. The morning she passed away, I remember waking up and I saw the color vaporize from her eyes, from brown to black. She was suffocating for what felt like a lifetime. I didn't know what to do. It was at least an hour before I told anyone about it. I bury dogs for a living, Molly. And it's the same kind of pain every single day. You know, I wish I could save them all, but I can't. And people are cold and heartless. The first puppy I buried, it took 19 shovels, each one heavier than the last. And by the next morning, the dogs had dug them out again. At that point, I learned that nothing stays buried. Everything always comes back up. Please don't leave me, Melly.
Oh no. Get in here. Get in here, Cody. Close the door. I have to finish. Sit down. Sit. I have to finish. Close your eyes. Close them.
What?
Oh my god.
Melissa, come. You should sit.
I don't have time for this.
Sit down. Now listen close. I'm going to try my hardest to be as delicate about this as humanly possible. I know anger isn't an argument, and it's not my intention to be melodramatic, so bear with me. 22 years ago, I had my first patient. Worked with her for nearly 4 years. Times were different then. It was the 80s. I wasn't paying a mortgage. I didn't have children. I was chipping away at student loans. Had the future ahead of me. Paid my dues. I was in it to make a difference. Entitled and eager to make this world a better place. Fix the unfixable. Reverse the irreversible. My first patient was by the name of Delora Temple. She reluctantly found a brand spanking new, hot off the press business card of mine and walked through the door with a box full of dilemmas, just begging to have someone to talk to. No insurance, no work history, no home. I wanted to help the helpless. I charged her zilch. It was my pleasure to hear anything she had to say. I was under her spell. You see the mirror on the table? Dolores' mother, in a surreal and peculiar fashion, would punish her without logic or reason. She physically forced her to gaze into her reflection until she cried or threw up her food. True story, darling. This torture, these punishments, they crippled her childhood. As she grew up, she started to believe her spirit was trapped on the other side of the mirror. Her mother eventually convinced her she was sick. Couldn't tell herself from her reflection anymore. To this day, I cannot clearly understand what her mother was trying to accomplish. Such an obscure method. She possessed every right to despise her mother. Yet she never held her accountable for the misery she woke up to every day after. She was lost when I met her. Despondent. Yet she loved her mother with all her broken heart. Love is a dangerous, dangerous thing. It has the power to heal, the influence to harm. It's bright enough to blind and potent enough to cure. One thing remains. Love leaves scars. Last I saw her, I was pregnant. Gave me her mother's mirror. What's left of it. Told me she finally escaped from it. I keep it to remember. Worth more than any paycheck I've received since. Open it.
Why?
Open it, Melissa. You're pregnant. And as a gift from one mother to another, I want you to have Delora Temple's mother's mirror.
I don't know what to say.
Tell me, are you still throwing up?
I stopped.
Since when?
Since before Phil.
I would put my right arm in the wood chipper right now to believe that.
I stopped.
I heard you, Melissa. Not long ago, I heard you. You threw up your breakfast before school. Weeks before that, teeth marks on your knuckles. At Cody's birthday party, I bit my tongue so hard I swallowed a pint of blood. You see, I need to believe you, Melissa. I need to believe you're better. For the sake of the baby's health, but you're lying.
Listen to me. I'm not stupid. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I stopped. I stopped
swear. I swear on Mia's grave.
Look in the mirror. What do you see? Don't look at me. Look at it. Lie to me. Convince me you haven't been sick forever.
Why are you doing this?
You did this to yourself.
What do you want me to do?
You need to get rid of it.
Have you lost your God-forsaken mind?
What choice do you have? Melissa.
Let go of me!
Melissa.
Mom, what are you doing? Mom! Mom! What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Mom, please!
In this scene, the purge is essential to the whole movie, and it's not going to mean anything to the audience unless you're actually throwing up. Now, I think that should be easy for you, not because you're a woman, but because, I don't know, I think it's just this, a playable place to go, an accessible place to go, and you know what, this should be the movie that goes there and that shows it, and it's not afraid to go there. So just be really brave, show us your courage, and let's just see what happens. All right, roll sound.
Sound. Speed.
All right, marker. All right, and action.
Okay, cut. I can't do this.
Okay.
I mean, what the heck is this? I can't do this.
Can't do what exactly?
I can't purge. I mean, this is acting. I mean, I'm not supposed to do this.
Well, I mean, it's not like a snuff film or anything, but for it to be believable to the audience, I think it should be authentic.
Nah, I mean, no, this is like, no, I didn't sign up for this.
Wow. Okay.
You know what? Forget it. Where's my agent? I gotta talk to him. Really? This isn't... It's cut!
Sometimes a barbaric, savage, and uncivilized approach to teachings is a measure of last resort that must be employed. You have to believe I did this out of love. I'm sorry you lost your baby, Melissa. In hindsight, you'll understand. I had to do what was best for that unborn child. I don't think you'll ever throw up again.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. The longer I live, the slower I'm dying. I'm a walking, breathing corpse. That's just poetry, dear. It's a fact. I mean, I can't even eat a box of raisins without feeling disgusting. What do you want me to do? No. You have to. No. You have to. I can't. Melissa, please. That's asking too much. I'm already dead. So you're giving up? That's it? I've given up years ago. Half your scars are mine. Do you know what it feels like to be afraid of being fat? It's a genuine phobia. A real fear. I'd rather die than be ugly. Don't use that word. Mom already knows. No, she doesn't. She knows one of us has a problem. It's only a matter of time before she finds out who. It doesn't have to be this way. Yes, it does. I hate it. But there's a part of you that loves the worst of it. You hate that you love it, but you love it unconditionally, don't you? I'm ashamed. You want to be pitied and envied, smothered but left alone. You're a paradox. I don't love throwing up blood. I don't love my teeth rotting. I don't love what it has done to us. I don't love to see my reflection. I'll never love. Never love. I'll never miss this. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. If it's in me, well, if it's in me, it's in you. It's in you. Why do you want to die? Mom's a doctor. She can get you help. Nobody has to know. I'll never be happy. I'll never be happy. What about me? There's no solution. Who's gonna take me out of my misery? I have nothing. You have everything. You don't need to suffer. You're perfect. You were born perfect. But I thought you hated me. How can I hate you when all I've ever wanted was to be you?
Darling, you okay? You alright? Sit down for a minute. You got a minute? Sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on. Hey. Come on. What's wrong? What's wrong? Look. There's no easy way to say this. So here it goes. This ain't easy. But you gotta know that I knew Miandra. I knew your sister. How'd she die? Darling, how'd she die? I don't come here just for the pie. I don't even like pie. I come here to see my daughter. Do you understand what I'm saying? I come here to see you. Don't you understand? I met Miandra once. I met her once. A long time ago. Honey, I want to give this to you. I want to give this to you. I used to wrap you and your sister up in this when y'all were babies. Take this. Take this with you. Baby?
But why'd you have to leave? Don't you love us?
Honey, you know I do. Of course I do. But don't you understand that your mother is ugly? I mean, she made me sick. She's the ugliest person I've ever met in my life. I think we can start from scratch. I think we can do this over again, Melissa. Don't you understand? Melissa.
Wow.
If you walk out that door today, there's no turning back. Melissa, don't do this. Melissa, don't do this. Melissa!
Hey. Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you. I must have called about 100 times. I've missed you.
Stop the car.
What? What's wrong?
Phil, listen to me.
What's wrong?
I had an abortion.
You had what?
I can't say it again.
You had an abortion. That's what you said, right? Look at me. Say something.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I wouldn't understand.
Try explaining to me.
I'm sorry.
You had an abortion?
Stop saying that, please.
I don't belong here.
Just please go.
Wait. Just wait.
I don't want to hear you.
Melissa.
Shut up, Mom! I can't hear you. I can't even look at you. I mean, what else are you going to take away from me? What else do you want to take away from me, Mom? I fear for Cody's life.
Lower your voice. What's wrong with you? Melissa!
I hate you! I hate you!
What are you talking about?
You're a sad, pathetic excuse for a human being, Mom!
Melissa, I can't breathe. Melissa!
She was sick for 8 years.
Melissa, I can't breathe. Stop.
I killed her, Mom. She asked me to.
What?
I felt her lungs fill up with water. She begged me to do it.
Melissa,
Don't die, Mom! Don't die!
Melissa, stop.
You deserve to suffer like the rest of us.
Not people.
I feel so bad.
Check for yourself. Open it.
What for?
You want to see who Millie really is? Now's your chance.
You're psychotic.
soul is ready. Oh, I'm not afraid to swim. SOS, my ship is sinking. Water's coming too fast.